Man, can you believe it? 10 years ago on this day, and by the time I upload this video, at this very time, Doraemon made its American television debut on Disney XD, and for the first time in America in English, through the Bang Zoom English dub. Now, I know this dub is really controversial. There are some people out here that hate this dub's guts. There are some people that hate the people that work on it because of this dub. There are people that hate the voice actors themselves. But not me. Not me, and not many other people. While this dub has its detractors, there are people that love this dub to death. And I am one of them. And I owe this dub for being the entire reason why I discovered Doraemon in the first place. That's right, if this dub didn't exist, there might have been a point where I at least knew Doraemon existed, but I probably wouldn't be a fan. Because before that dub aired, I didn't know what Doraemon is. I didn't know what it was, rather. I'm going to tell my story with the dub, and I'm going to tell my story about how this franchise impacted my life. First of all, since it's the anniversary of the dub, I feel like I should take a moment to talk about the dub itself. Obviously, it aired on Disney XD from 2014, and its final episode aired in 2015, although it still had some reruns for a little bit afterwards. But, point is, compared to a lot of other places in the world, it had quite the short run. And that's not to say that the US is the only place that had a short run on Doraemon. There are other countries that either didn't get Doraemon for very long or don't have it at all. But compared to other countries like India, Japan, many other places, Doraemon was but a blip. That being said, those it impacted, it sure left an impact. And even if not many people were impacted by it, those who were felt its impact. And I'm going to tell you how much of an impact one series can have on a person's life. It all started the day the first episode aired. I was cleaning the room that I usually spent my days in. I don't spend my days in that room anymore. Although I was probably slacking on it, to be honest. And I either lost the remote or couldn't bother looking for it. But at some point or another, I don't know if the channel was there already, or if I used the box to tune into Disney XD or something. I like to say that it was on Disney XD already, but the point is, when it was on Disney XD, what was on was Doraemon. And what I saw hooked me. I wanted to see more. So I stuck around, and I saw more. Every single chance I would get, I would watch an episode unless I physically couldn't. Say, one time I was on vacation and I was gonna miss a couple episodes. That was legit an actual concern I had, because the place I was going didn't have TV. The point is, if I was able to, I watched the episode Doraemon that was airing that day, and boy was it a great show. I remember when the finale of season 1 aired, and I think I remember I was sad that was going to be the last episode. Yeah, fun fact, there are people that want a season 3 of this dub. There was a point where we didn't even know if we were going to be getting a season 2. But regardless, I discovered the Japanese side of Doraemon, and I knew there was more. I knew there were movies. I knew there was like a movie coming out called Stand By Me Doraemon. It was in 3D, and it looked really cool, and I looked into the story behind it, and I kind of just learned the story of it. I remember I even made like a little recreation going off of what I believed the story was. Like, where I was dressed up as Nobi, and I was dicking around with my desk drawer, and I filmed it on my 3DS. I was 12. So, yeah, needless to say, this series left an impact on my life pretty quick. And yeah, season 2 eventually did come out, and just like season 1, if I was able to help it, I caught every episode I could, except for when I literally couldn't. If I remember correctly, the series finale aired while I was at school. I believe it was DVR'd, though. Regardless, every episode's out there now. I'm glad this dub isn't lost media. Hell, the preservation on it is top notch. We have it without logos, ripped from Watch Disney XD. I'm glad this dub isn't lost media. I don't exactly think it was in danger of being lost media either, because I know TV rips of it existed. But more about the dub itself. It did not dub the episodes in order. It chose a completely random order of episodes to do. And yes, edits were made. And yes, episodes were cut down. And yes, some of them didn't have to be cut down. But the reason behind most of the changes that people that don't like this dub, the detractors of the dub, the reason behind most of those changes aren't exactly what they probably think they are. They like to pin the blame on the dub itself when in reality it was the faults of the higher-ups. And as for, certain episodes being cut down, every episode had a certain time they needed to be. If you were to look at every episode right now, you'll notice that the length of each episode is 22 minutes and 4 seconds. 30 seconds for the intro, 30 seconds for the ending, and everything else is everything else. Not a single episode goes a second above or below. So if an episode they chose didn't meet that constraint, they had to cut it down. Now, as for episodes that were like half-hour specials and cut down to 11 minutes, I don't know what the hell the excuse was there, because they sure did happen, but I like to defend the elephant in the room in terms of episodes that were cut down. I'd like to talk about Galaxy Grand Prix. That episode, for those of you who don't know, was originally a 44-minute special in the Japanese version, and it was cut down to a half-hour special, or a 22-minute special, in the English dub. And because of that, a lot of stuff was cut out. And I believe the fault was Disney's. I strongly believe that they just didn't want to give the show the longer time slot, so they had no choice but to cut the episode down. This is purely speculation, by the way. If I'm ever proven wrong on this, I will eat my words. I will eat my garlic pizza. Let's talk about the pizza. People have thankfully learned more about this, but there was an episode called Nobi's Turn at Bat where Doraemon puts bandages over his nose from a med kit, and they changed that to a garlic pizza. What most people didn't get was the context that it was a garlic pizza, and Doraemon was using it to defeat Nobi, who was a vampire bat. It is my understanding and my conclusion that the reason why it was changed was because the bandages were meant to represent a cross. And I guess they just didn't want to play with religion stuff. Although I will also acknowledge that there's an episode in Season 2 where they talk about Noah's Ark and kind of reenact it even, I guess you could say. So, but I think the solution to change it to a garlic pizza is pretty damn clever. And yeah, to address another thing that I know some people don't like about this dub, the names. Now, Doraemon's name is still Doraemon, Dormy is still Dormy, and Dorayaki is still Dorayaki, although they are called Yummy Buns for the remainder of the series after that nickname is introduced. And even the place where Doraemon's born, the Matsushiba Robot Factory, it's still called that. But there were changes. Nobita became Nobi, Shizuka became Sue, Gion became Big G, Suneo became Sneech, and more. Names were changed, and most of them were taken from the English manga, where in the manga, the names are implied to be nicknames. That's not exactly confirmed for the show dub, although in the movie dubs, which I'll get to at some point here, it's kind of weird. I don't mind these names. Hell, if you talk to me about Doraemon and I talk about these characters, there are names I'm going to default to. And it's probably because, I was introduced to them first. But I do like the Japanese names. I have no issue saying Nobita, Shizuka, Giant, Suneo. I'm fine with saying all that if need be. I just like the English names. I think they're both fine. They can coexist. And I'm glad that they're still being used in media today. Fight me on this if you must. The writing on this dub was also on point. There are some really good lines in there. If you want to see something really funny, go to the episode The Sequence Spray and look at Nobi's test. Just look at the text edits, the English words and stuff. Because whoever was in charge of making the text edits, they were having way too much fun. And you know what? Good for them. Good for them. And I'll even say that some of the edits the dub made were good. Like, whenever Sue was seen in the bath, they put her in a bathing suit. And if you're going to genuinely complain about that, I'm going to call Chris Hansen on your ass, because you don't want to see a naked child, do you? Do you? But I will also admit that some of the edits were fucking stupid. Like, in the aforementioned Noah's Ark episode, It's the End of the World as We Know It. The episode ends with it all being a dream and Nobi wetting the bed. In the dub, they changed it to him kicking over the teapot. Which I can get why they changed, but it's still kind of weird. The dub's background music is also really good. It's genuinely better than the Japanese version at points. It's not as repetitious, it's not as annoying, and I will also admit that I do like the Japanese soundtrack as well. I just like how more, I guess quiet and relaxed the US dub soundtrack is. It also sounds a bit more like uniquely made for the episodes. I know there are some recycled tracks, but it feels like the music was really made for what's going on with the visuals, and I like that. And with the Japanese version, and I know this is a thing with anime in general, they have like a set of music cues and music tracks to use, and I know there might be points where there are music uniquely made for the episodes. I'm just saying the US dub's background music is good, and it fits with what's going on. So, the fact that it was replaced isn't that big of an issue for me. Alright? The voice acting in this dub is top-notch, alright? John Bosch is a great Nobi, take a hike. Alright, Mother Marshall as Doraemon, great. John Bosch as Nobi, great. Cassandra Morris as Sue, great. Brian Beacock as Sneech, great. KG Tang as Big G, great. They're all great. Not a single one misses. Mari Devon as Nobi's mom, great, although she has a weird time pronouncing Doraemon. Tony Oliver is Nobi's dad. That's Lupin the fucking Third! Everyone else is well casted. Everyone else is a great actor. Everything is great. The dub's voice acting is fucking phenomenal. I am biased. I absolutely am. But you know what? I think it's great. Other people think it's great. Fuck you! John Bosch's Nobi is perfect. He nails the comedic stuff. He nails the serious stuff. He nails fucking everything. Fucking hell, yes! Mona Marshall is the best person that has ever voiced Doraemon in English, and I will not hear anything otherwise from anyone else. Nope. Because it is a fact! Cassandra Morris, Brian Beacock, KG Tang, they're all fucking great. Fucking great. Sue, Sneech, Big G, they sound perfect. Doremi sure does have a voice that exists, but it's not the worst thing ever. Hell, I think it's alright. The guiding angel sounds like Poir from Dragon Ball. Yeah! Ace Goody is Shinji from Evangelion, and it is all you will hear now! Damn, the voice acting is so good! Yeah, I like the voice acting in this dub. Respectable. Have a nice day. Although I like the Japanese cast too, just to make sure that's out there. Alright, now my gush session is over, let's get back to business. Alright. Now, while the show dub was edited and censored, you want to know what wasn't censored? The dubs of the movies. Yeah, they dubbed Stand By Me Doraemon 1 and 2. And, fun fact, they dubbed Stand By Me 1 years before it released on Netflix. Believe it or not, they dubbed it the year it came out. They showed it off at a Tokyo Film Festival. And, yeah, they just sat on it for a while. And when Stand By Me 2 was ready to come out on Netflix, they released Stand By Me 1 at the same time. And now, it's some of the only official English dub media of Doraemon you can officially watch. I think it's the only one, actually. Wait, no, you can watch Big G Master Chef on YouTube through TV Aussie's upload of it. Yeah. And no, I'm not counting the games as English dubbed content because they're either Japanese with text or text only. But as for the dubs of Stand By Me 1 and 2, they are completely uncut. The music is intact, nothing is censored, nothing is shortened. There aren't even any visual edits. All that's changed are the characters' names, and I'm fine with that. Whether that's a problem with you is up to you. But I think the dubs of the movies are great. And they're on Netflix, like I said, so go right ahead and watch them if you can. In fact, if you want to watch Stand By Me Doraemon 1 or Stand By Me Doraemon 2, pause this video, go on Netflix, watch them. I'll wait, this video ain't going anywhere. Alright, you back? Cool, because now we get to discuss rumors. Alright, I'm here to debunk some shit, because there's some shit that people believe that are just outright not true. Alright, let's go. This rumor has since died down, but there was once a rumor that the English dub takes place in North Carolina. I don't think this is true. I know there's an episode where Nobi's on the world map, and I don't know in what correlation he is to what state he could be in, but I don't think it takes place in North Carolina. I know they changed the location to be in America, but I think it's a fictitious place in America. And if anyone can prove me wrong on that, go right ahead. Okay, this next rumor is still a thing. There are people that still believe this. There are people that think that Sue's last name is Morris in the English dub. This is not the case. If you actually watch the English dub of the show, they actually don't ever say Sue's last name. In fact, they don't say the last name of Sneech either. But in the dub of Stand By Me 2, they say that her name is Minamoto. I don't know if this is accurate to the show, but seeing as the movies still use the English names for, the first names of the characters, I'm going to assume that her last name is still Minamoto. Plus, with the name of Big G's store being Goda's Goods, there is a chance that his first name might still be Takeshi. Mr. S also calls Big G by the name Goda in the dub of Stand By Me 1. There is still no piece of English dub media that has called Sneech by his last name, though. But seeing as Nobi's last name is still Nobi, N-O-B-I, and Sue's last name is still Minamoto, and Big G's last name is still Goda, I'm going to assume that Sneech's last name is Honekawa. Although, that doesn't mean everyone's last name was kept intact. I just thought of this now. Because Ace's last name was changed to Goody. His name is Ace Goody. But yeah, no, the point I was trying to make here in the first place was that Sue's last name was never Morris in the English dub. Please stop spreading this rumor. I'm sure there's more rumors, but those are the two big ones. And yeah, if there's any other rumors that you want to address it with me in the comments, and I'll tell you if it's real or not. It's probably not. But yeah, that's the Doraemon English dub. Honestly, this video was going to be something completely different. In one of the earlier takes of this, not only was it live action, along with every take before it, I actually focused way more on myself and my fan dub because, actually, this might be fucking obvious, my fan dub, my Doraemon fan dub, the way I did it was based off of this English dub. And the people I met through my fan dub, or before that, and even after, was because of the Doraemon English dub. Because I had Disney XD on that one time. Imagine if I had something else on. That fan dub probably wouldn't exist, and I probably wouldn't even know half of my friends. That's terrifying. I also owe my fan dub to some rough things that have happened to my YouTube channel, and that's fine. Because despite that, Doraemon has given me a lot of good. It's given me my friends, it's given me other people close in my life. And I can't hate it for that reason. Literally last night, I was watching, last night and the night before, I was actually rewatching old episodes of the Doraemon English dub. That shit still holds up. That's great. And even earlier today, I watched an episode of Doraemon in Japanese. It was a really good episode, by the way. Any bad thing this series has given me, I can't ignore it. Because it has given me so much good. And I can't thank it enough for that. I know my fan dub is coming back for another episode, but you already know that my content has changed. You know that I'm doing other stuff now, and once, the final episode of the Doraemon fan dub is out, my focus is going to be back on the stuff that I'm making now. But, despite everything, I'm still a fan of Doraemon. Thanks for sticking around to listen to all this if you did. And thanks to Doraemon for everything you've ever given me. 10 years, though, wow.
Brought to you by Debunking!